What is up, YouTube? Welcome back. Vaporology, kicking it hard again. Today I'm going to run through a very quick review, probably one I should have done a couple months ago. I've just been using it so much I haven't really wanted to do this review, but I gotta say, this is one of my favorite RTAs of all time. I have a lot of top airflow tanks, say like the OBS engine, this guy here, my Starre Pure tank, which I absolutely love. This gets daily use. I got my Cloud Blaster. I got lots of top airflow tanks. Now for RTAs, there's not a whole lot of options out there for exclusively top airflow. I have most of them. Now this is, I gotta say, this is one of my all-time favorite tanks. If I broke it, I would buy a new one tomorrow. So let me just run through this for you. This is by Wotofo, the Sapor RTA, the Sapor RTA. Don't get that confused. There is another RDA, which is also top airflow, and it is absolutely amazing in its own regard. So, 25mm tank. This is the black version. Comes presented like so. This is heavily used, so if it seems a little dirtier, there's a couple scuff marks or scratches. Like I said, this has been a daily driver for me for at least 2 months. So just look how thick that spare glass is. That should tell you something right there. Like Wotofo stuff, it's usually a bit more than buying the clone, but I've never had bad glass from Wotofo. Their quality is usually right up there with some of the better brands. And yeah, I gotta say, pretty quality made stuff, and it's at a pretty reasonable price. So the mod pops out. Drip tip, it is a 510 drip tip. It is a pretty narrow airflow, but it is really nice. It's perfect for me. Like, I actually absolutely love this for flavor. It does chuck some nice clouds too, and I will do a quick build on this for you today, and just throw a couple clouds before we wrap this up. But this is intended to be a very quick video. So the top cap does come off. It is top fill. Nice big open juice holes in glass bottles. I've never had any issues with bottles fitting. There is an O-ring right there you see on the top cap. That's how the top cap seals. So make sure that's on, or if it gets damaged, you could have some leaking issues. The airflow control ring does come off. It is removable. And it does have a nice stop there, so there's a definite stop when you put it off and on, or when you turn it open and closed. You are able to remove the build deck while it's full of juice, which is nice as long as the juice is not past the juice flow holes. So when you flip it over, you can remove the deck without issue. Just make sure you close the airflow as well. I've never had this thing leak at all, like even condensate. Obviously I don't keep my tanks upside down all the time, but this has been one of the greatest RTAs I've ever had, simply for pocket friendliness, if that's makes any sense to you. So these are some flat coils. I'm going to take these out. We will do a build. There's a control ring, or this ring does come off. I never take it off when I do my build. I just like to tuck my cotton in there nice. But it is fairly spacious. You can fit 3mm Claptons in here as you go. I like 2.5mm aliens are perfect in this tank. Nice and warm, but not excessive. Great flavorful vape. So that's probably what I'll do today. So to go ahead and give this a quick bath, and we'll throw it up on the tab build box, and we will start to build in. Okay, so just before I get into the build, I'll just show you quickly what it comes with. You do get spare glass. You can pull it out. It does give you, the manual's pretty funny. It's all pictures. It doesn't really give you any specs or anything in here, and I'm sorry I don't have them. I'll put them on the screen for you now. So you can look at the height and stuff. It is a nice short tank, and it does look very good on almost every single mod I put it on. So here, let me turn on the autofocus, see if this works. Pretty much shows you how to build it. And that's it. So it also comes with typical Wotofo gear. You get wire and cotton. So you get 2 twisted wires. These are pretty small. They're actually not bad. but they're really small little wires. And you do get a bag of spares, which I've already used a couple screws out of there for the build deck. I'm about to take another one out because I stripped one. And a full set of O-rings. In the essence of time here, I'm just going to kind of fast forward through some of the non-relevant stuff. I will post links in the description on where you can pick up all the different stuff that I use in the video for building. So I'm going to wrap up 2 coils from this quad twisted 28 gauge. This is Demon Killer line, or Demon Killer wire line. I've been fishing too much lately. So I cut 2 pieces around 3 inches. I grabbed my coil jig from my Coil Master set, and I'll go ahead and wrap up 2 2.5 mil coils, probably 6 wraps. Scratch that. I'm going to wrap 3 mil coils. Sorry, I didn't realize 2.5 mils are a little small. You can fit 3 mils in there, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay, I got my coils wrapped up, 6 wraps, 3 millimeters. I also got 1 piece of cotton cut. This is Muji. I can end up making wicking both coils with just this 1 piece, as long as you're efficient and you don't pinch too much of it at the beginning. So I've already peeled the top and bottom layer off this piece of cotton. I cut it very thin. This is probably like a quarter of an inch wide. You don't need a lot of cotton in RTAs. That's what the tanks are for. Okay, so I got the coils placed. It's important to make sure that they are inside the diameter of the outside ring, so that when you put it all together, your coils don't short out on the chamber. So I've kind of just put them in there. I push them in as far as I can, like just snug, tighten them up, cut the leads, and then I'll grab my bit, stick it back through the coil, kind of straighten them out, and space the coils just a little bit. So let's see where we're at here. 2 of them meter out at 0.27 dry, so I haven't fired them yet. So let me grab my silicone, or my just kind of rake the coils, make sure they're not touching, get that power going right. So this coil looks a little loose on that one, so I'm going to have to tighten up that screw a bit more. Okay, so I got the coils kind of lined up, centered, spaced just slightly, and firing evenly, so they're glowing from the inside out, and that's the most important part, making sure that they glow evenly and heat evenly. Kind of hard to see in this light, but they are functioning the same for the most part, I believe. That one is a bit hotter now. So check that out again. Damn it. Okay, so I got everything tightened up and glowing evenly. I had to replace one other grub screw, as it had stripped as well. Like I said, I've been using this thing for months, so I had to dig into my spares there. So I've kind of got the coil, or the cotton in. Like I said, I do it from 1 strip of a Muji sheet. I use Muji cotton. Again, I'll post all the links in the description. We can pick all this up. All of the building things that come in the Coil Master build kit. I couldn't imagine doing this stuff without it. Like man, spend the 40 bucks, buy the kit, and be done with it. So one of the tricks I like to do to make sure I get adequate wicking is to just grab like a little pin or something like this, and I like to fluff the cotton up. So I kind of just work in the cotton. I've already pulled the top and bottom layers of this cotton off, but I like to just get in there and just fluff it up. Make it airy, make it not quite so dense. You got to remember, the only object you're trying to achieve here is to stop the tank from leaking, and to make sure you have adequate cotton to feed the coils that you're using. These coils aren't super duper thirsty. You notice I'm not putting a huge set of Claptons and something in here. You don't really need them. I find this is a nice, warm, dense vape, and it's very satisfying, just with the quad twisted wire in there. So goes to show you don't always need big giant Clapton wires to get the performance you're after. I find a lot of those are just too hot, require too much power. I'm sick of changing batteries twice a day. Whereas this will perform right around 45 watts. and it will perform great. It will achieve exactly what I'm after. And I highly recommend this tank. If you like rebuildables, if you like messing around with this stuff, go for it. You will not be disappointed with this tank. It is the most pocket-friendly RTA I have ever had, and that's saying something. This thing's never leaked on me ever once. So I'm just going to go ahead and continue doing what I'm doing there, fluffing everything up. I might trim just a little bit off if I have to. And then I'm going to go ahead and tuck it all into the juice control ring there. Right, I just tuck it in underneath. And I just use my scissors for that for the most part. These also come in the kit, and these are nice scissors. These cut cotton so good. You go ahead in this kit again. It'll be in the description if you're interested. Check the links out, guys. Okay, so I'm just about to tuck all the cotton in, and now you can see I've kind of fluffed it all right up. Taken my little pin and just kind of worked it all through. And don't be afraid to pull little bits out. You just want enough to block the juice flow holes. That's it. And you want it nice and fluffy. If you're ever getting a lot of snapping and popping and spit back and stuff, it's usually related to the fact your cotton's too tight and your coils are starving. Or it's the opposite, where you have way too much juice and too high power. Okay, there it is, all wicked up. So you can see one of the biggest problems people make is they pack too much cotton into these juice wells. It needs to be loose. Like, it's hard to do this on camera here, and backwards. But it should be able to poke this in there. It should be nice and loose. I also like to kind of push it back a little bit and kind of make a little airflow channel or juice channel for it to get to the whole wick. And also I'll pull it up just a touch from the bottom, just like that, so it's not completely blocking the juice channel. But this thing wicks phenomenally well. I've never had dry hits with this thing. But like I said, if you're having snapping and popping or any major issues with that, I guarantee you it's because of your cotton being too tight. So I'm going to go ahead and juice this up. We'll blow a couple clouds and we'll get out of here. Okay, so I just painted the wicks up. Some of the most delicious e-juice on the planet. This is chocolate donuts from modsauce.ca. You can check us out online. We ship Canada-wide, and we make some of the best e-juice around. So I painted it up. One thing I really love about this RTA is the juice flow control. You actually can close the juice flow. Unlike the OBS engine and other top flow tanks, you aren't able to do that. Also, the juice flow control is really easy. You just go all the way either direction and it's open. So if it's in the dark or anything like that, you don't have to worry. It does have a stop. It doesn't just keep spinning around and around, which I really like. So the airflow is fairly small. I'll put some dimensions up on the screen, showing you how big they all are and stuff. But they are quite small. But it's the perfect amount of airflow. Wide open. I love this tank. So I am kind of low on juice in this thing right now. I got it firing at, say, 43 watts. And you can hear it. I'll try and here. I'll put it right by the mic so you can hear it. It's nice and quiet too. It doesn't whistle or any of that. So it is a really excellent atomizer. This thing is all about the flavor. If you love the flavor, pick one of these up. I guarantee it, you will not be disappointed. Thanks again for watching, guys. If you liked the video, please go ahead and hit that thumbs up button for me. Sub, like, share, make it cloudy, my friend. Keep calm, vape on.